Okay.
Yeah, good. Can you see me now? So can I add something? You said you use part of your money for tuition. You also use some of your money for tuition, right? Or nutrition. Or plus I also the nutrition business, right? So what I'm trying to say is that you invest in school, you invest in health, and that's your line of business, correct? So now we wouldn't say it's money going to waste, it's an investment. Because like you're investing health-wise and business-wise. She's investing school-wise and intellectual-wise. And I also love what you said, when you buy groceries, like you still have last month's groceries, which means you can take a portion of that particular cash and put it somewhere else. And then that's another part of buying things in bulk, guys. And then because if you buy groceries of last 3 months, which means for the next 2 months you're not buying any groceries. Why don't you take that money, put it elsewhere? You understand? Yeah, so that's the one.
I guess it's me.
Yeah, you can give it maybe.
Morning. I'm Quentin. What do I have? I have a job, a 9 to 5. I got a few side hustles, including Dr. Kicks. What do I do with what I have? I do the best that I can do. In terms of how long does my money last me? Of course, for the 9 to 5, it's mainly just for the bills. But my side hustles keep me afloat for the rest of the month. So it is what it is.
Okay, in terms of what I have, it would be spending money for school. But then I do tend to save it. I do have a saving box, I don't know what you call it, but the piggy bank. So yeah, that's where I save most of my money. And then most of the time, I can say I invest not money, I'd say I invest in piggy. So that's what I can say I'm currently investing in. Financially wise, I realize that saving is not quite very beneficial, but yeah, that's what I usually do. So how long does it last me? Say maybe 3 weeks max. So yeah.
Buona futi.
Take over again.
So imagine it's when I have a normal business now and there's invest a lot of money here, which is I was wish to remind the whole money because business the woman tell us saying that discipline man, money business.
Can I present something? What do you want to answer first? Okay, I love what my two brothers say. Quincy is 9 to 5, but there's a business on the side, and he also do is he also into business. So what I also love is that they know how to use the business finances wisely. I might talk to my people here, so especially what I love with Quincy, sometimes you are not 9 to 5. 9 to 5 sometimes is the best place to start. Because unlike we do into business full time. And when you're into business full time, you're fully dependent on that business. Unlike a 9 to 5, a 9 to 5 can give you an advantage. With 15,000, you can do a lot of things, guys. If you like building your credit score, getting capital from banks and that, it's much easier. So I feel sometimes also hustling and running a business, it also teaches you discipline in that regard. Especially if you got into business for the right reasons. But obviously, if you got into business for flashy stuff, it's on Kawata. I also love what Musola said. I would say this is saving and it's learning from saving to investing. So what I also love about that, it's not a man of buys second and last speak of the man, but at least in pushing you most of the time. And then the nice expenses are going to investments, which is school and stuff. Because that will pay off. And then
Yeah.
What do I have? I have an online business.
yes.
Yeah, I earn income from a business that I have online, which is dropshipping. Yeah, selling various things like to pay for my studies, which I'm studying marketing management at the moment. I'm studying this course because I want to expand the business. I want to have the knowledge to expand the business. And how much that's what I have lost. And lost with the business income. The income it's not fixed. Understand? So money comes in every week, or if not every day. So it lost me the money.
Thanks. I also know what it says on body business, which money again once off comes in on a daily basis or weekly basis. So I think from those of us who are here, what we should try to do, at least try to find a side hustle that will keep you afloat. And then that will keep you afloat. For instance, if you are working a 9 to 5 and you are working with a lot of people, what are various stocking actually buys? Those are movable things. What are telling perfume or buys? Join Avon, sell Avon's products on their behalf and sell them. You understand? At least when two salaries are together, they can balance each other. And I want to balance each other. Love this and how it's a business, it can keep you balanced. Because now I can attest to that. In business, you can have a budget, salary holy in the day. Then out of nowhere, booming, you get a random in this one, and then was who boost wherever you are. Lucky. Because now I'm into business full time. Now I've never been to 9 to 5. I tried working, but I'm including you know what why? Because my first job was when I was 16. I only worked for 4 days and then it ended. I tried again working 2019. I only worked for 1 day at a time, and that's how we are. God, you understand? Yeah, but the girl who went to 95 for full of been board member of a big company. That's my dream. So now I have to build myself and build the credibility. So that's my goal. So, Mr. Wiz, don't run away from the question.
Repeat the question.
Okay, the first one, what do you have? So, like, what do you have? You have a job, you have a skill, what's giving you an income?
Hi guys. Y'all good? Good. I'm good too. Okay, so that's a question, Mr. Machete. I have an existing business as well. Right? It's called KPW, Cases for Private Events and stuff like that. So I'm currently in a route where I have to start another. But then I'm lacking on research and stuff like that. Still trying to figure it out. Currently, sources of income, I can say, if not one, three. Because I still have parents. So they don't want to let me go. They still want to work. But other than that, my business is focusing on my other expenses, which is why I'm able to come to these type of events, places like these ones. So currently, I'm in the middle of being financially stable and making somewhere else. So I need to increase somewhat. So some of my expenses, too much. And then with my client, non-financial management skills, I can actually cover them and still have something to actually push towards the end or the other way. So I don't have a lot, but I make it work.
So, how long does it last you?
Month to month basis, I can actually do this to the best of it. I'm not a guy who actually buys cheap and expensive things. I don't buy clothes, I don't buy shoes. I only cover those important expenses and stuff.
So and now I'm happy with the answers, and I'm also happy with my entire team, right? Because this is a masterclass, yes?
I heard you say something about clothes. Clothes is a liability.
So, okay, with that one in clothes, I think it depends on the type of industry that you're in. For example, for an artist, clothes can become an investment because how you should present yourself when you're performing and stuff. But if clothes do not really generate your income, but it's draining your financial outtakes and liabilities in that case.
But me too, what I wanted to say is invest in the whole profit. Look good.
Look good so you can feel good.
Invest in the whole profit. Because the guy's best line of defense
Is how you look.
You understand? So invest in the whole project.
Yeah. True. True.
No, I just want to ask you, with you, like those three questions, like how are you keeping up?
Okay, let me first start with this point. So guys, when we say invest, we don't mean to strive yourself.
Yeah.
Now I'm fighting for it's a balance.
Yeah.
Because you'll see when you get to part 2. Because you can't have one thing going where the other one is leaking. Have money for clothes, have money to reinvest, have money for entertainment, have money for education. Because what's the reason if you only have clothes and entertainment? 5 years down the line, what are you going to show? So at least if there's a balance, I don't know if now you get me. Because you're right, clothes also pay jewelry. Especially depending on the type of industry that you're in. But let's take I'm a farmer, I don't need to have expensive clothes. I can just keep it simple. And that's why I go to those presentations and all of that, you see.
And also not say my expensive clothes.
Yeah. By what you can afford, basically.
Buy what you can afford and use good money.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Yes. Because you see, for now, what drives me crazy is this thing with your Tatam account. So getting to debt for clothes, another is not make sure, guys. There's a drift when you go up here after the station, there's a drift there. So sometimes it's not about to buy with and stuff. And I also know what Lizzie said. He said it's not much money, but whatever money he has, you can manage it and push it. That's the point I was trying to drive. So you're asking me, what do I have? So when I'm into businesses, I have 5 businesses that I'm running. One is an NPO. So from those businesses, I try to pull a salad. Every month when the income comes in, I draw a salad for personal use. And there's also money that I reuse in the business. Then it says, what are you doing with what you have? Now most of my money guys goes back into investing. And then, because when I have a goal, guys, now my goal is to be a billionaire. I'm sure you can even see it there. It's billionaires under process. But I can't say I want to be a billionaire. I don't even have investments, guys. You see, just like this camera, before we did not have a camera. At first we did not have a mobile. Like there are many things that we've invested in. Writing these books and stuff, it costs money. So that's where most of my money goes to. Obviously the basic things that you have to contribute, like buying food at home and all of that. Those are part of the expenses that you can incur, right? So that's where some of my money goes. And how long does your monthly investment last you? So usually it's usually a month, just me the whole month. Sometimes it can go beyond, depending on how you see it. Because when I divide my income, self-investment, buying assets, as you have said, I have a budget for clothes. I have a budget. Because even clothes, how sometimes you can buy clothes, buy one piece this month, keep it. Next month you buy another piece. Imagine if you can buy 5 trousers. The whole month you see that you are set apart. So those are some of the things, but you'll see when we get to the next point. The next point is my favorite. The basic literacy of financial management. What do you think separates the poor and the rich? Let's hear some, yeah?
I would say knowledge.
Perfect. Another one, yeah? Mindset, correct? Discipline, correct?
The relationship they have with money.
Correct? Control, yeah?
And also access to other people.
Access to other people, correct? Another one wants to volunteer.
Time management.
Time management, yes? Confidence, correct? I don't, yeah? Innovation. Correct, I don't say about white money probably capitalist. You know how to that I'm not unique. That when men took today, you know how it is. So I love the points, especially set mindset, knowledge, network, innovation, time management, discipline, attitude again. So the one I'm going to be touching on here the mostly is education, obviously your education will link it back to mindset. So vocabulary is what separates the rich from the poor. Because how we expect the poor man to invest if he does not know the meaning of investing?
Yeah.
How do you expect the poor man to invest if he does not know the meaning of investing? Because let's take something basic, guys. If you think what I'm talking is not make sure what, I challenge you today when you log off, ask financiers, go house to house. Ask them the three basic financial terms. What is an asset, what is a liability, and what is an investment? You know so when you know, let's ask them what are those three terms. So that's what separates us from the rich and the poor is vocabulary. Because you can't invest in what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Yeah, but because you all have a vocab that is specialized in. If your vocab is girls, you win in girls. That's simple. It all is bad. If your vocab is a betting, no betting was all if you will ever win. So it depends. Like for instance, Alanis is studying engineering. Engineering has its own language. I did law has its own language. Money has its own language. Ubuntu has its own language. One of the languages of Ubuntu is dealing with planet innovation. You see? So each and every sector has its own language. But the biggest thing that we don't invest in is what we call this thing. We don't invest enough in our vocabulary. So our vocabulary hinders us. Because you can't invest if you don't know the money of investing. So the first thing is before you start investing, most people often answer this question, hey, I have money, I want to invest, what can I invest in? Before you invest, start investing in your mind, guys. Because you need to understand the game that you're getting into. Invest into your mind. Or let's say you're starting to become a professional, let's say a doctor, lawyer, engineer, you just become an engineer. First, you have to invest in your mind. That's why you're going to run a course, you do modules, you have to write tests and pass on it. Same thing with money, you have to start investing in your knowledge. Because knowledge is what will set you apart. You know why a lot of people get scared? It's due to lack of knowledge. Because someone will invest in something that they don't know. Who's going to take 50 rand, you multiply, it's away 150. Such things don't make sense. How do you move from 50 bucks to 150? Because you don't have knowledge now, so Tatere will give them your money. So, but if you understand financial literacy, you start questioning, but how does this money grow? Where do you invest this money? How do you get such a return of investment? So that's the thing. Let's start investing in our minds. How do you invest in your mind? You can be studying books, attending such events, attending webinars online, and all of that. You can find webinars on it. Go to a seminar, go to conferences. We have places like Google, they have a lot of events. So you can come and do what? Attend some of the events that is free. Like as I was saying, guys, in your monthly budget, every budget for self-development. Because we know when you open my budget, there's a budget for self-development. So sometimes if I don't go to seminars during that particular month, I don't buy books. Because I think this year I've invested in more than 10 books. So you're going to keep on reading. The first 6 months of the year I was focusing on businesses and financial literacy. Now I'm focusing on self-development. Because guys, we learn about seeing that. Because I was making a joke with that, she was saying you want to go for a master's. And I was telling them it's Tina's writing a honors. So invest in books and all of that. You see, some people prefer schools. Now we prefer like reading self-help books, self-development. For me, daily qualifications and stuff, for me, from my side, I'm not saying it's wrong. But from my side, for me, I don't see any benefit from my side. So I focus on books of what I'm called to do. Because just like now, I got a book how to make money from speaking. Because one of the things I do is public speaking. And I focus on that rather than going and doing ELLM, Masters in Law, because I'm not even practicing. So for me, getting a Masters in Law does really help for me. So I invest in one more financial books and entrepreneurship, self-development, because that's what I also do. And then, So the first basic literacy that we're going to start with is a budget. How many of us have a budget? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So which means that, okay, you also have a budget, like part of the source of 5 and 6 or in between now. But I hope from enough you have a budget, right? So another thing guys, what sets us apart is budget. So a budget is a written plan of income and expenses. Eh? So a budget shows your income and your expenses. Because think about these guys. In South Africa, we have a national budget. And every year the Minister of Finance will read out the budget. Go to ShopRite, they have a budget. Go to Pick n Pay, they have a budget. Any successful company has a budget. I believe Ubuntu Hub has a budget, right?
Yeah.
It's a daily one that you use, or is it a monthly one?
Yeah, it's yearly.
It's yearly. So you ask yourself, why do organizations like Ubuntu, Pick n Pay, ShopRite have budgets and they are successful? And when I don't have a budget and they're struggling financially, it is coincidence. Because imagine, guys, money is dangerous, my friends. Imagine I want to make a plan, make so. That's my going now. No. But if you have a budget, you become strict, guys. And then, if you have a budget, you become strict with what you do. So that's actually every one of us needs to have a written plan. Because I always ask myself this question. We try to workshop right now, we can pay and all these things. See, as individuals, we don't have them. Because everything has a system, guys. A business has a system. Now as an individual, you need to have your own systems. Right? So the advantage of a budget, first thing, advantage of a budget, it keeps you disciplined, which means it helps you to live within your means. And then it helps you to live within your means. The next one, it allows you to keep the record of your finances. So if you have budget, you can see your finances, what you did in the last 2 years, 3 years, depending on how long you keep your budget. Because when I can take out my book, that I've been writing my budget since 2022 up until present. When I got paid on Tuesday, my money hasn't touched it as yet in September. I'm going to touch it when? Next week, Monday, because I have to draw a budget. Because it's been a busy week for me, so I didn't have time to do that. Because now when I fear about touching money without a budget, it becomes a fraud, guys. The next thing you realize is, damn, I didn't pay that police. And I didn't pay that account because there was no budget. Money can approach. Because once you don't create a plan for money, the money will create a plan for itself. But I'm sure you can relate, musicians.
Yeah.
And okay, those of you who set up a budget, how many of you? So can I ask why do you need to create a budget? Which you are learning.
So, the reason I need a budget is because of I'm still learning how to handle money. So, in the process, I'm still learning how to handle my money. If budget becomes okay, this month, I need to buy this, I need to invest this much, because sometimes income we are so sometimes it's 500, sometimes it's only 200. So like if I say okay, this month I will have to invest 200. So when all especially budget it's very tight. I mean minimize. You will okay, this month I can invest 200. I will invest 100. So like giving a budget becomes
Something. And I can attest to what he's saying because most of the time he shows me his budget. You know, he took some of his investment comes from the 350. Because he finished matric when I was in 2023, last year I was on a gap year. So some of the income that he was getting was in 350. So from that 350 you take money, keep it aside. Just like 2 weeks back, last week, Saturday, he was showing me, took some of the money at 350, was buying it was bitcoins, right? Doji coins was bitcoin. XRP. So you see, the budget does not have to be that tight. does not have to be a 1,000 and all of that. Small amounts, guys. Because the more you invest, the more God blesses you. If you believe in the universe, the more the universe gives back to you. Ne?
I want nigga, I mean, I'm not budget. Budget is in my head, bro. I'm telling you, dog. Balance sheet in my head.
Yeah, the reason that made me to draw a budget is because of I do tend to overspend if I don't draw a budget. And yeah, I'm saying that the reason I draw a budget is because I do overspend. I remember there was a time whereby I started business. I was in matric at the time, 2021, with the 350, and over the course, in the space of 3 months, I was able to make around 7.2. So,
damn, bro.
Because of not being able to budget.
Sorry, what business was that?
No, I was just selling sweets and chocolates.
Oh, okay.
So I was selling chocolates
Alright.
and boxes. So and at that time it was during COVID, so in the school system there was not a lot of touch on business, so I was able to capitalize on that. So due to lack of financial planning, I ended up blowing that money. So that's when I learned a lesson that, you know what, yeah, and it's a money that I intended to invest for a business. So that's when I realized that I need to draw a budget from that experience.
Question, bro. How do you draw a budget when, example, get paid today, right? It's the 6th. You have debit orders due. Debit orders are just going. When do you get the time to draw a budget when the money is just flying out of the account the whole time?
So, from my side, I usually avoid debit orders.
Like booty policy, so it's not, you can't dodge that.